First of all, I picked up my pots from the pottery department today. And when I say pottery department, I mean literally from the kiln, because these are the pots that I've made. So I made 5 bowls just to get my first idea of how the whole process is done. It's my first time. Well, it's actually my second time making them, but it's my first time. I went to a class first where all you did was you spun them. I don't know what it's actually called. You wheel them. You make the outline of them, basically. And then the potter basically finished them up. These, I did every process of it. So first I was on the wheel, and then I turned them, and then I added foot rings to them, and then I finished them off, and then I glazed them. I've done every bit of them. Isn't it actually called throwing? Yeah, there you go. Throwing. That's what it's called. Definitely. I'm not making this story up. I just don't remember the terminology. Okay, here's the first one. So one of them broke, actually. So let me show you the broken one first. So this is the broken one. It's still quite beautiful looking. I was intending for it to be a bit more of a rust color, but it's just ended up being a little brown. But it's really nicely symmetrical. And it's got these lovely speckles on the side as well. I don't know if you can quite see. Yeah. So this kind of speckledy orange on the side is really nice. That's exactly what I was going for. Unfortunately, the foot ring has broken off the bottom. So it's supposed to have a piece on the bottom here. And this is, I glazed it too much. The glaze is essentially a glass that soaks into the clay. And then as you fire it at a high temperature, it kind of melts downwards quite a bit. Which can lead to some really lovely dripping effects. But also what it did in this case, because I glazed it too much, is that it just ran onto the bottom of the kiln and the guy had to chip it off. So it still works, but it's just like a little wobbly. So that was the broken one. This one I made, it's beautiful. This one's, I think, my favorite. It's it's a speckledy blue on the outside, like this. And then it's got a rim of cobalt blue that you can see has this drip effect around the outside, which is pretty lovely. And on the inside, it has a spiral pattern, which I'm not sure you can see exactly, but the spiral goes like this, right? So you can kind of see it a little bit on the inside there. But that is beautiful. Now, that's what the bottom of them is supposed to look like. So this is the one that's broken, and this is what it's supposed to look like. It's, it has an area here which stops it from, it just means that it can stand up properly. And it also stops it from being porous to water as well. So, if it can just stand even if it gets soaked in water or something like that. So this one's beautiful. This one came out really lovely. And then I made some slightly larger ones. So this one's similar kind of speckled. I tried to make a variety of different shapes. And colors and designs. So this one you can see that I've designed with a bit more of a vase shape bit that's coming out. Yeah, I did them all by hand. Yeah. Well, I did them all by hand on the pottery wheel. Yes. The pottery wheel, you still have to use your hands. It's like that scene from whatever where... Anyway, I can't even remember what movie that is. But yeah, I'm there, pulling it out, making it into this while it's going... Yeah, Ghost. There you go. Casilton, thanks for the 2 months. So this one, I'm really happy with the shape. It came out really nicely. I gave this one a much larger foot ring as well because I thought it fit the design of the thing quite nicely. To have this, you can see the difference here. This one's got a really small foot ring on the bottom of it. And this one's got a much larger one because I think it fits the design of it quite nicely. The speckle design also came out really beautifully. And I actually dipped it in a white glaze as well around the rim. So it's not just the speckle. This one, I kind of painted the rim. Which is why it's got this drip effect inside. This one, I straight up turned it upside down, dunk it into a white glaze. So you can see the difference towards the top. I'm not really happy with how it came out because it just kind of looks like spongy. That wasn't exactly what I was going for, but it does look somewhat interesting, and the interior is still quite nice as well. Still has that nice homemade spiral pattern inside, and I'm pretty happy with the overall silhouette of it. The silhouette was quite different, and that was what I was going for with this one.
All caught up on the BG3 VODs. Let's get some neutral gameplay started.
That's what I'm talking about, Chaos Flight. So this one, whereas with these other foot rings kind of stand out from the pot, which means that you need to build the pot larger and then shave away the side. With this one, I gave this one an innie rather than an outie. So this has a foot ring on the bottom, But as you can see, the pot goes all the way up into the foot ring. So it's a very different design. If I show you this alongside this one, you can see this foot ring kind of stands out and up, whereas this one goes in. So this one has like an innie rather than an outie. This one again has some like, detail around the lip of it that looks really beautiful. It's a much nicer overall look than the previous brown one that I showed you, the one that broke. I think while they're quite similar, I put iron oxide on the lip of this one rather than just, it's called R01, this red design, this like brown kind of color. And it's come out quite nice. I quite like this one. It's not exactly as rust colored as I was looking for. I was looking for a bit more of a copper look than this, but I think it looks pretty good. It's wonderfully symmetrical. And overall, very nice. And then the final one, because I only made 5. This one was my favorite when I was making it, but I'm actually not 100% satisfied with how it came out. But this is the same kind of blue speckle glaze that I'm using. So it's a bit more of a shallow shape of a dish, something that you would use for, I don't know, condiments or something like that. Maybe you put some guac in there or something. But it's this, same lovely blue speckle glaze on it all. And I've actually put some detailing in the outside. So what I've done here is these are actually indentations that go all the way around, and there's 2 lanes of it. And then I've put the same brown iron oxide that I put on the lip of this one. I've put those in the middle here. Now what I was hoping that would do is make like a rust color that goes very nicely with the blue. The blue actually came out a lot lighter than I was hoping for, though. I was hoping it would be a little more dark, somewhat like the cobalt kind of feel of this rim. So that came out lighter, and this brown actually looks a little green. I'm not sure it does in this light necessarily, but overall, I was hoping for it to have a bit more of a bold color difference, like a bit more blue and blue and copper is more what I was going for. Whereas in reality, it just looks a little green, a little odd. But I really like the design, and I'm happy with this. It's very easy to mess this up because you're literally like it's spinning around as you're doing it, right? And you are shaving away these tracks into it as it's spinning. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that overall. You can still see it has this weird like greeny color, but overall, really, really quite happy with these. And it has a nice silhouette to it overall. The foot ring came out nicely. The indentation looks pretty good too. So yeah, pretty happy. And yeah, figuring out the glaze colors, because I'd never glazed anything before in my life, I didn't really know what they were going to look like. So I think for a first attempt, this is pretty good. So yeah, I'm content. I'm happy with what I've made. I've got 5 nice bowls that are, there for different things, or maybe I'll give some of them away as Christmas presents or something like that. But yeah, I'm happy. So very successful artistic hobby that I've picked up.